Hello.
Hey, bag ladies and bag dudes. I'm Sarah Lawson. This is my husband Danny, and this is Ask Sarah, the weekly Q&A chat. So thanks so much for joining us. I see everyone jumping in on the chat. Sandra from Indiana. My daughter Violet's actually helping us run the technology today, so she's helping put things on the screen, as is Danny. I see Marcel from Virginia, Ingrid. Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining us for Ask Sarah. We'll be answering some questions live later on in the chat. I have a few things to talk to you about and show you first. So my first question to you is, what kind of tutorials would you like to see me demonstrate on the live shows? So on Sundays, I've been demonstrating short techniques, so how to put in purse feet, information about different kinds of zippers and how to trim metal zippers, things like that. So in the past week, I've gotten emails about various topics that I thought would make great demonstrations to demonstrate live. So this Sunday, Rabia requested a demonstration on iron-on vinyl. So I ordered two products, one by Pellon, one by Heat and Bond, and these are for ironing on to fabric like quilting cotton or canvas, and these products make the fabric laminated, so either great for cosmetic bags, lunch bags, anything that you would like to sort of wipe clean. So that's the demonstration for Sunday. I also had emails this week asking about how to make tassels for a bag, so that'll be the week after. I had also emails about zippers by the yard and how to add different zipper pulls to your zipper teeth. So if you have any ideas for a demonstration video, please let me know. Either let me know on social media. You can especially email me. My email is sarah@sewsweetness.com, and that's Sarah with no H. And I keep all of these ideas on file. So if there's anything you're ever wondering about, please let me know, because I'm sure there's other people that want to know as well. And I have a lot of fun coming up with demonstrations, but having people give me ideas is even better, because then I don't have to think of that extra step myself. So I appreciate anyone who's ever emailed me and given me some great ideas. I promise I hang on to them. I have an email folder. This is a comment that you would like me to read. Oh, thank you, Mary. Mary says, could you please share how to make a tab that comes over a side pocket on a big tote or other bag? I would like to have a magnetic snap. That's a great idea as well. I'll add that to my file. Maybe Violet can write me a note. Violet's nodding her head. So thanks so much for providing those ideas. Pat says, use the Pellon iron-on vinyl for the first time today. Love it. So that's great. Can't wait to crack open both of these products on Sunday and show you a demonstration, as well as I'm going to make a couple little projects to show you some finished projects as well. All right, so my daughter Violet and I are working on a weekly summer quilt along. It's called Summer Sampler 2018, and this week was the second block. So Violet is going to come around and show you the second block that we made. If you recall, last week we made the first block. And I said that I made a mistake and I sewed half of the bottom half of the block reverse order, so I had to rip that out. Violet, you want to show the second block that we made? So we chose blue fabrics for the second block, and I thought this was going to go great, but again, I was in a hurry reading the instructions, and so when we pieced, it's my fault because I hand the fabric in the correct order to Violet. When we pieced the dark quarters of the block, I had them again reversed, so I had to rip out basically half the block again, and I'm not sure what I didn't see in the directions, but I was just in a hurry and repeating everything that we did the first time, but it came out okay after I ripped everything apart. Was that fun? Yes? All right, so we've got 2 down, and I think there's 18 total, so we've got 16 to go. So every Monday we'll be working on that, and again, that's Summer Sampler 2018. It's hosted by Fresh Lemons Quilts, Freshly Pieced, and Swim Bike Quilt, in case you're interested in reading more about that. So also a couple weeks ago, I mentioned on one of the live shows that I was interested in taking up some cross stitch, and I finally got all of my supplies in the mail. So I had a few cross stitch patterns that I purchased, and this is the one that I decided to work on first. And thank you to a few ladies who emailed me offering help, because I'm new to cross stitch, and so I ordered a few basic supplies. So I got my fiddler's cloth ready to go. I bought some new needles for cross stitch, and I also found this really cool. I don't know if you do cross stitch, if you're familiar with this, but it's called the Easy Count Guide. Basically, it's a thread in this package, and the thread is red, and it kind of looks like, doesn't that kind of look like plastic? It's not real thread. It's not like cotton or anything.
Yep.
What would you say that would be? To describe it.
It's almost like a filament for a 3D printer, actually. It's a plastic fishing line almost.
Okay.
Fishing line.
So that's what this is, and the purpose of this product is to mark off all of your squares in the cross stitch with its bright red. And so rather than going through your cross stitch pattern and having to count what color, what goes where, this red filament sort of marks all of the sections for you. So after the show, I'm gonna sit down and mark off all my little red squares and then hopefully start working on my cross stitch. So I'm really excited about that. Bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Speaking of which, your favorite part of the show always is we're asking all the bag ladies and bag dudes to let us know in the comments. And I'm a super big bag lady. Violet shaking her head.
I don't know why.
Oh, okay. So let us know in the comments if you're a bag lady or bag dude. We love seeing all the bag lady comments, and I think we sometimes see a few bag dudes sprinkled in there, right?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. So thank you so much for doing that, and love the bag making community that the bag lady and bag dude term has begun creating. So that's a lot of fun. All right. Do you want to show everyone what we got in the mail this week?
Yes.
Okay, so Diane sent a lovely and thoughtful package. So Diane, if you're watching, thank you so much. But do you want to talk about what this is, what the fabric is?
This is some sewing project that has Doctor Who fabric. It's the desktop cubes from the Minikin set. Mm-hmm. It's also got Doctor Who as an interior fabric. I'm going to show it better, but it's like the TARDIS exploding and stuff. Very cool. 3-piece set, nestling like the little eggs.
So what a lovely surprise to get in the mail. And I texted Danny. I mean, the package was addressed to both of us, but this is definitely Danny's fabric. And I said, someone sent you a package with Doctor Who stuff. I texted him when we were picking the kids up from school. So thank you so much again, Diane. What a thoughtful gift. I love it. And we for sure need something like this in the sewing room. Well, probably mostly on your half.
Yeah, I've got tons of electronic devices, cords, everything. You name it.
You need to be a little better organized, I think.
I mean, I just can't stack it all on my desk and leave it there.
Awesome. All right. I had a question, and we asked on the Instagram Live show. So if you are on Instagram Live, I apologize for the repetitive question, but I'm working on a set of 12 patterns and videos, and my list is longer than 12, so I have about 16 ideas on the list.
A set of 12 videos or patterns. It sounds familiar.
Yes.
What could that be? Is it going to be released in December?
No. Anyway, I've written most of the patterns already, but I think I have 3 or 4 left to write, and so it's coming down to narrowing my list down. So I'm wondering what you would like to see included in the 12 patterns. So on my list that might not make the cut is a cooler. So that means like if you're going to a outdoor concert or fireworks, something to put your ice and your drinks in to keep it cold. So a cooler is number 1. Fanny pack is number 2, which if you're not in the U.S., a waist bag or a bum bag. So basically something to clip around your waist if you're going somewhere to keep your cell phone and your credit cards and cash in. Number 3 is a backseat organizer. So that means like the headrest of the... What are you pushing my arm around for?
Because your arm's on my chair. I'm wondering, like, why is her arm on my armrest?
I lost my train of thought. Oh, the third idea was a backseat organizer. So something that hooks around the headrest, and you can put books, snacks, whatever, devices in there, whatever. So let me know in the comments if you like any of these 3 ideas. So again, that was cooler, fanny pack, or headrest organizer. So Danny's idea while we were doing Instagram Live was, of course, it's going to be the 12 patterns and videos, but maybe the bonus...
Instead of tossing it out, maybe we should keep it. And someone said a baker's dozen, 13 patterns instead of 12.
Oh, is that what a baker's dozen is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So let us know in the comments, and I'm sure we'll be asking again as the time gets closer, because we still need to do some work on these patterns and videos, but let me know in the comments, and I'll...
Cooler?
Yeah.
a waist bag,
Mm-hmm.
and or car organizer.
Yeah.
So those are your 3 options.
Yeah, so I couldn't decide, so that's why those 3 were on my list of undecided or not
We'll
sure.
probably
if
do
they
some
make
kind
the
of
cut.
voting in the future, and probably be in the So Sweetness group, because we could have more than 2 options. In the regular page, it's only 2 options on Facebook. So we can put all 3 options up, and probably the top 2 out of the 3 that win, or 1 for sure will get in, and possibly the second, the 13th pattern will get in, right?
Okay. But for now, just let us know in
We'll
the
see.
comments. We'll do that official vote a little bit later on, but
Yep.
we're just really curious to see what everyone would be interested in. Okay, so now Danny's
You know,
pick of-
Pamela also said, "Oh, you can go when you do
No.
the pick week." Well, she said to hit the thumbs button up and stuff, and we
Oh.
appreciate you saying that and helping us, spread the love by hitting the thumbs up, hit the like button, hit the share button if you have it on there. Even hitting a smiley face on Facebook, all that really helps. It's all engagement, and the more engagement we have, the more we spread. And
Yeah, the
it
better
just-
our videos do,
Yep.
the more we're excited about doing, like, the free Oreo bag. Like, that was the challenge for April, and we've seen, like, over 100 Oreo bags being made already, which is really awesome. Yeah, there's our lovely share button. So thank you so much for doing that. Even just a basic thumbs up or like really helps us out a lot. So thank you very much. Okay, you want to get over to your pick of the week?
Yes.
And
My
Violet?
lovely assistant will show the beautiful bag we have here. This was an amazing satellite bag that was hacked a little bit with a clear vinyl front from Kristen Sorota. She did an amazing job with it. Nice glitter vinyl on the sides.
I love that tab on the side. That looks so professional. And
Yes.
do you remember what the purpose of the bag was when she posted
Yes,
the group?
I can't remember the type of bag. I think it was you'll say it because I'm not sure. But it's to show off your pins. And the front and clear vinyl, you can actually you have a pin collection. Say you go to Disney World. A lot of people will collect a million different little Disney pins. And so in your bag, the front panel is like your display panel to show off all your pins, your collection.
That's really cool. Violet, I think
What's the bag called?
the satellite bag.
No, what's a pin collection bag?
I don't remember.
Oh,
Sorry, I know, I
I thought
think
you were trying to stump me. And
No, I was...
you actually didn't really know.
No, well,
Was it an Una bag or something like that?
I thought it started with an
ITA,
I.
ITA bag? ITA bag?
Something we'll have to
We'll look further into that and
investigate
get back
that.
to you guys.
Yeah. But that would be really cool when we go to Disney next time to get some pins, right, Violet?
Yeah. Or Universal and
Yeah,
some Harry Potter. and-
Violet's nodding her head. So, yeah, every week we've been showing Danny's pick of the week and, another lovely version of the satellite bag.
I'm so tempted to pick Doctor Who and Star Wars stuff every week. It is such a struggle not to do it because I really do enjoy it. But I got to spice it up. And I saw that when I thought it was, something unique. And there's been so many amazing Oreo bags in the group as well. Because I follow the group hardcore. I check it every single day. And it flooded through was the Oreo bags. There's been so many of them. There's other great bags too, don't get me wrong. But just the Oreo's been dominating the picture feed.
All right, so let's get to some questions. If you have a question for me, either sewing related, bag related, if you have a question about a sewing tool, let me know in the comments, and I'll be answering as many questions live as I can.
Yeah, I'm
And
going to try to go back because I saw questions popping up, but I didn't want
okay.
to.
Well, if you remember kind of what the question was, you can just say it out loud if you
I
can't
really
find
don't.
it.
I don't
Okay.
want to say it wrong.
Okay. So I was thinking one of the possible tutorial ideas would be to add this side strap to any bag. So this is one of the minikins. It's actually the cotton candy pouch, and my friend Sara made this and sent it to me. And she added, it wasn't in the pattern, but she added the tabs to the side and with swivel clips to make it into a strap. So this is, I have a hard time designing bags that are small, so this is a great option for having a bag that's small and just adding the tabs and the strap to it on the side. All right, I see a question that Danny just put up on the screen. Glum wanted to know, there have been lots of questions in the group about sewing leather, vinyl, and cork, so perhaps it would help if you showed how to make something from those. That's a great question. I know there's lots of questions. I did do a cork video. I think that was was that our very first video that we ever did, the cork video?
Yes.
It was. So we did do a video on cork, but I know we need to provide extra or even more information and also on leather or vinyl. So we will add that to the list and hopefully come up with something soon. Just more in-depth information about sewing with those, I think would be really great.
I'd really like to address a lot of our older. Oh, I can't say they're older because they've been a year old, but the quality of our production's gone up, tremendous since the initial videos. So I do think we should go back over the old ones and redo them to current standards. Yes.
No.
Read the comments so we can move to the next one.
Cheryl says, I need to make a Zeppelin TARDIS bag. Those suckers have to be bigger on the inside. Laugh out loud. I can't believe how much it fits. Yeah, so this is I have this handy because we showed this on the Instagram show. This is the Zeppelin, one of the minikins. And the reason I showed it on the show earlier is because my daughter was asking for end of the year teacher gifts. We still have about 3 weeks left of school here, but this is a really quick sew, but it looks pretty nice. And I thought even for the male teachers in like a masculine, I've gotten requests for Star Wars or Harry Potter fabric for the male teachers. So I think this is probably what we're going to go with for the end of the year teacher gifts. Jacqueline says, could you do a demonstration on how to add a tassel cap with the tassels? Yes. Actually, the week after I do that clear vinyl, I will have a demonstration for tassels because someone emailed me about that yesterday or the day before. So I added it to the list, and I kind of bumped it up because I ordered some tassel hardware. So that just came in today, so I'll be ready for it. Christian says, Danny, what have you made with the 3D printer?
We've not received it yet. The one I did order had a 4 to 6 weeks wait period. So we still have not received it. It'll be here hopefully soon. We'll definitely have it faster than the embroidery machine that's still not been...
Oh, yeah, we haven't gotten an embroidery machine yet. Maybe there's some kind of cool tools that you can make with the 3D printer.
Yes, definitely. There's some.
Can you make things that are clear out of the 3D printer?
Yeah, they have clear filament.
Oh, okay. Maybe like some sort of...
Not like completely clear. It'll be opaque.
Oh, okay. Make a template or something for me?
Yeah, I think you do that.
Okay. Just trying to get the maximum usage out of it. So, another question: can you iron interfacing onto cork or leather? I have before, very carefully. Obviously, if you're ironing interfacing, you're ironing on the wrong side of the fabric. You can always test it out on a small little scrap first before you do it. But I haven't had any problems ironing interfacing onto the wrong side of the cork. I prefer not to iron on the right side of the cork though, or vinyl, because I had a mishap a few years ago. I made a hyacinth bag and the side panel was pink vinyl, and my iron, I thought I was being careful when I was ironing the finished bag, but my iron touched it in one little tiny spot, and the vinyl melted, and the backing of the vinyl was like a fleecy fabric, so it was like cottony looking, and so one little hole in my hyacinth bag has like a little speck of white, kind of looks like cotton peeking through, which made me really sad. But yeah, ironing on the wrong side, if you're very careful of cork or vinyl, is okay. Elena says, what pattern would work to use as a daycare bag? A diaper bag is too big, but it needs to fit 4 to 5 baby bottles and a change of clothes. That's a good question. The diaper bag is too big, but a little bit smaller. Maybe
the Aragon bag is not that big as a diaper bag.
I brought those down to the basement already.
No, I'm just saying that's a bag. You can check on the website, sewsweetness.com/Aragon, and it should pop you right to that bag.
Would the satellite bag maybe work for that? It's over there. You want to grab it? Can you grab it?
This right?
Yeah. I don't know if you were looking for something that didn't look like a purse, but this satellite bag is one of the newer patterns, and it looks like that could hold 4 or 5 bottles.
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't know. Yeah, but the Aragon bag, I don't know if you were watching on Sunday. I showed the Aragon bag on Sunday, and it's not a huge bag, but maybe bigger than what you needed it for. Okay, any other... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they're there.
Sorry, I didn't see you put another question on the screen. Cheryl says, where do I get the pattern for the minikins? So if you just go to sewsweetness.com, there's a big graphic in the middle of the screen that says online workshops. If you click on that, there's one in there for minikins, and it's 12 patterns and videos, and yeah, I think pretty easy to find on the website. So again, just sewsweetness.com, click on online workshops. Katie says, what Sizzix machine do you recommend for bag making and quilting? So I have 2 Sizzix machines. One is ridiculous for the amount of space that we have. We have a really small house, but I have the Big Shot Pro, which is a really big machine. It's metal, it's heavy, and it doesn't fold, so it takes up a lot of space. The other machine that I have from Sizzix is the Big Shot Plus, which is very lightweight. It folds closed, so it's really nice to store. And the Big Shot Plus also fits all of my dies. Both of the machines do, but the Plus is, I think, less than $200, depending on where you're shopping, and much easier to maintain and store. And again, works with all of my Sizzix dyes. Sorry. Diana says, Sarah, most of your bags use 2 types of stabilizers. I'm about to make a bag from one of your books. I've had the Kindle version for a while. They have different stabilizers. Can you tell us how to translate those to the current ones that you suggest? So just full disclaimer, when I wrote my first book, I started writing it in 2012, and that was before I found out about foam interfacing. After I found out about foam interfacing, it was a game changer. It changed everything that I did about bags. None of the interfacings that I talked about in the book are bad. They're just my taste kind of changed after I found the foam. But some things that I talked about in the book, like fusible fleece, fusible thermolam, which is also fleece. So those 2 are great for a softer bag. Little projects, maybe some of the minikins if you wanted to substitute fleece. It wouldn't quite have the same amount of body, but it would still be doable for those projects. Other interfacings that I talk about in the book are Pellon Peltex, which is an ultra firm interfacing. What else do I talk about? Pellon Shape Flex, which I still use for linings. Decker Bond, which is another firm interfacing, but not as thick as the Peltex. So I do talk about all those in the book. I have a blog post about interfacings. I also have a Craftsy class about interfacings. It's called Building Better Bags. So, my conclusion to all that was generally in a bag, I use Shape Flex for the lining, foam for the outside of the bag, the exterior fabric, and if I need like a stiff bottom, Peltex or Decovil would be another option for that as well. So if you concentrate on those 2 or 3 interfacings, I think that those will serve you well. Karen says, I know you have both the Juki TL2010Q and the 2200 QVP Mini. If you only had one, which would you like? I'm getting a new machine. So I believe the difference is the 2010, you can purchase it online. The 2200, you only can purchase from a quilt shop. And so those are the main differences. To me, they're basically the same machine. The 2200, I believe, comes with more feet, and I think it's generally prices that I've seen maybe $100 more. So again, I feel like it's basically the same machine. If you don't have access to a quilt shop near you and like the convenience of ordering online, you might want to go with the 2010. If you like having a few more feet and you can get to a quilt shop, or you can order from a quilt shop and have them ship it to you, which is what I usually do. I bought my new Juki serger from a quilt shop in Ohio called So to Speak. Like I said, if you want the more feet, go with the 2200. You can't go wrong with either one because in my mind, they're the same exact machine. Debbie says, can I line the front pockets in the satellite bag with Insulbrite? Yeah, you sure could. So the front, did you put the satellite bag? Did I put it down somewhere?
You put it somewhere.
Okay. So the question was the front pockets on the satellite bag, can they be interfaced with Insulbrite? So yeah, they sure could. So if you're going to do the Insulbrite on this fabric, just omit the foam. So the thickness of the foam will be replaced by the Insulbrite, and I think it'll be pretty easy to sew that on there. Oh, and this bag also was made by Sara. So Sara made this one. Oh, sorry, I made the flap look crooked. My friend Sara made this one as well as the cotton candy pouch that I showed earlier. Okay. Did you already put a question up on the screen? Cheryl wants to know, can you put adjustable straps on the Zeppelin? Yeah, I think you could. I'm not sure if you want to move the handle down so you can put the strap near the end of the zipper. You could do that. Yep, for sure.
Could you do some also with like the purse hardware where you can put some rivets, even like a crossbody, sort of like you have your Oreo where you can put on the backside here?
Yeah, I think I saw someone in the Facebook group, correct, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought they enlarged the Zeppelin a little bit and made like straps on the front with like tabs. So that's another option too if you didn't want the side strap. Carla wants to know, many episodes ago you mentioned some fabric bundles. I love how you put Tula fabric together. Will you be offering those kinds of bundles? So the two fabric lines that Tula Pink has coming out this year, so she has one coming out in either June or July. It's called De La Luna, which is the satellite bag behind me. Let's see if I could grab it. There we go. So this is Tula Pink de la Luna. I have this on order. We'll have it on the website when it comes out. I'll let you know on social media and the live shows as soon as it comes out. And her second line for the year is called Zuma. So Zuma is sort of a beach scene. So there's seahorses on the fabric, seashells,
Little
whales, waves. The wave print was one of my favorites. That's coming out, I think, in September. I have ordered that as well. And again, we'll let you know on social media and on the live shows when that comes out, and we'll have it on the website in bundles and various combinations. Colleen says, what would be a good sized bag to store the feet and miscellaneous items you receive with your machine? That's a great question. Maybe the Creative Maker supply case. Violet, is Daddy's Creative Maker over there by the TV? Do you see it anywhere? I'll see if Violet can grab it, and if not, maybe the Creative Maker. It's a sort of an easier sew, and it has a zipper around the outside, so it opens up like a book. I think it might be by the sweatshirts over there. See the blue sweatshirts?
Sweatshirts are over here on the right.
Our sewing room is a mess. More so on Danny's half of the room. That's a little bit messier than mine.
She stacks her stuff on my side, by the way.
All right, we'll see if Violet can find it. I think that's the only one we have in this room right now.
Continue on.
Pat says, Sarah, will you be incorporating your serger in any of your bags? So I think the serger would be great for attaching fabric to interfacing. I haven't done that in the past, but I think I would like to show at least using the serger because it has an air threader. It's a Juki serger, and I'm really excited to have it. I haven't used it yet. I'm not sure why. Probably because we were really busy with videos last month, but yeah, I'll definitely show it on the live show once I get it up and running.
Oh, big question.
Big question?
It's a secret.
Oh, Kyla says, what is the next Core Club project? I can't say just because I haven't finalized it yet. So I have a list for Core Club, so I kind of know what my general ideas are, but I haven't decided what the project will be, and we haven't filmed it yet, so we'll probably do it maybe this weekend, so we still have a little bit of time. That'll be coming out June 1st, and we'll post it on the website as well as YouTube, and we might show it, depending on what day of the week June 1st is, we might show it on one of the live shows as well. Lauren says, am I the only person here to use the drawer under my sewing machine as a candy drawer? That's a great idea. My machine actually doesn't have that, but I've seen when I've taught and I've seen other people's machines, the little drawer that she's talking about. That's a good idea. So what's your favorite candy? Mine, I have a lot of favorites. I love sweets.
Sarah's has one favorite candy. Violet, we both know this. Mm-hmm. What is it?
Cadbury eggs.
Cadbury eggs, by far.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that would fit in that drawer, though. I also like Tootsie Rolls.
When's the last time you had Tootsie Roll?
Oh, it's been a while, but yeah. I do love Tootsie Rolls. Like I could just keep eating them.
Anytime there's Cadbury eggs at a store, they're being purchased. If they're in season, we'll have a box for them. One year on Easter, I went like the day after and was like half price. I literally bought the whole entire box, like 48 Cadbury eggs. Sarah shared a couple, but they were gone within like 2 days, and that's not exaggeration.
I could just keep eating them, and I remember saying something.
You don't get sick doing that.
I remember saying something about that on Facebook. It was a couple years now, but I said something about it on Facebook, and someone said like, "Aren't you gonna have to go to the dentist?" Or they were sort of like, that's not good for your teeth. They told me, and I was like, "Oh, it's okay. It's just once a year." Kathy says, when purchasing one of your bag patterns video, in the pattern or video, does it list the supplies needed and the brands that you would be using for interfacing, linings, and accessories? That's a great question. So the patterns always are complete patterns, and I consider them standalone. So you could certainly make the project with just the pattern. So, of course, the pattern has the supply list, and I always list options for exact products. So it used to drive me bonkers when I first started sewing. And I would get a pattern, and the pattern would say medium weight interfacing. And I wouldn't know what that would be, especially because I was newer to sewing. And also, depending on the manufacturer, some products, a medium weight interfacing might be one thing for one manufacturer and another thing for another. And people confuse the two or refer to them under different names. So it was really confusing. So in my patterns, I always specify. In the videos that you can access from my website, the video viewing screen, I have a list of links to all of the products. So I don't just name them, but I link to them. So if you need to buy it in a hurry and you don't want to search around, you could just click on my link and it'll take you to that item on the internet where you can order it. So I try to be as specific as possible so you can get what you need. And my goal is to have you working on the projects as quickly as possible and make the most amount of bags that you possibly can. And if you have to go around the internet searching, you're not sure, maybe you buy 3 interfacings because you're not sure which is the right one, that's not good. So try to be very specific in the patterns and in the videos as well. Terry says, have you ever used jelly rolls to make a bag? I can't remember if I have. I know I've for sure used charm squares or the mini charm squares, which are 2.5 inches.
What are jelly rolls exactly?
Jelly rolls are 2.5-inch strips. So if you're buying a jelly roll, it's from selvage to selvage. So if the fabric is 44 inches wide, which is very common, the jelly roll strip would be 2.5 inches by 44 inches. And if it's usually it's to go with a fabric line, so it would be maybe 1 or 2 strips from every fabric in the line, depending on how many prints are in the line.
You can actually make a huge quilt out of that. Say that you made this right here, but do 2.5-inch strips so you don't have to cut them.
Yeah, for sure.
Just a lot of
people do that. Yeah, that would be a good idea for you to do.
Yeah, make it easy, right?
We just have to find a jelly roll that you like, or we can make our own jelly roll. So you can make your own, just cut the strips.
I need like a power tool to cut the fabric, like leave it rolled up and like take a power saw or something. And
no, you would cut them like
nice even strips.
You would cut them like a couple fabrics at a time.
Maybe find like a laser pen of some sort. And, like,
did you think that you would cut like all 40 prints of fabric at the same time? Is that what you're trying to say, or?
I think you probably could.
I don't see how that's possible. Well, I'm sure
very sharp tool.
Well, somebody has to do it that way to get the jelly roll, right?
Right.
I guess.
I'm sure they have a machine that does it.
Okay.
That would be a lot of cutting. I couldn't expect if someone had to hand cut a jelly roll, say 2 inches by 44. You know how expensive that would be, like their time to cut 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches.
Well, what if if they work at a quilt shop, what if they're preparing, I'm not sure I've ever seen a quilt shop prepare jelly rolls. They do like fat quarters and stuff, but
it's a lot of work for sure.
I'm sure they would make a few jelly rolls at a time. I don't know. Any other questions coming through, or?
Here.
Dawn says, did you make your blouse? No, I did not make my blouse, and I was surprised when I came down and Danny didn't say, oh, is that a new blouse? Because he always says, he acts like he's never seen the shirt I'm wearing before or the pants. And I come down and he'll be like, are those new pants? Like, trying to make me feel guilty.
No,
like I'm buying too many clothes. Here's the truth behind that. No.
She does buy too many clothes, but she'll get like, she was getting these box
Stitch Fix,
and they would have a pair of pants. She'd wear it once. 6 months later, she breaks back out again. And I swear, every few days, I'll see like ModCloth, a box, and she'll run and grab real fast, very sneakily, and open up. And so I always ask her, is that a new shirt? Like, just joke around. I love being sarcastic. And I'm like, is that a new shirt you're wearing? Are those new pants? And she gets so defensive about it, but I'm only joking. You know, she works hard. She can.
I'm not buying expensive stuff. It's not like my blouses are. This blouse was not like $100 or anything. So.
Well, it's all relative. What's expensive one person's not to another person.
That's true. Good point. Amy says, would you consider doing a quick video on using cork with fabric? Something small. You can use the sample in the Cork Club, Diva Wallet or something. Cork is so beautiful. So, yeah, that would be a good idea. Combining the cork with the fabric. Maybe not for Cork Club, but maybe for a separate video, because for Cork Club I kind of promised everyone the project would be just for like one 9x7-inch piece of cork, but that would be a great idea. And also, while I was reading your question, something popped into my head. Maybe a demo video for making a strap with cork on one side and fabric on the other, because I've seen people make straps like that and they look really cool. Are you pointing because there's another question?
It's a great comment.
But I was still talking.
No, I was giving them one up to
okay.
the comment.
This comment is, a local fabric store has a mechanical rotary knife. It runs off electricity. Google it. It is amazing to watch. I will have to Google that because sounds
we'll have to incorporate one in our business.
Oh, yeah. A mechanical rotary knife. I didn't know that. That sounds
I've seen a little
interesting.
small one. It's like it literally looks like the size of a rotary cutter, but like a circular saw with a handle on it.
Oh, okay.
It spins. I saw the one that runs off batteries, but I don't know if that would work.
Okay.
Long.
And I see you put this comment on the screen. No, Danny can't use power tools for fabric.
There you go.
Judy says, jumped on, was working on my second Oreo bag. Since I am new, question, can I interface on the cork? Yes. On the wrong side of the cork, carefully. You can iron the inner facing to the wrong side. I don't suggest ironing anything ever or a finished bag on the right side of the fabric, but on the wrong side, if you're careful, it's completely fine. Nancy said, is it possible to make a cookie bag with vinyl lining? Take cookies to nursing home ladies. When cookies are gone, they would love the bag. Oh, that's a really sweet idea. Cookie bag with vinyl. So like maybe a zippered cookie bag, but like a bigger than a Ziploc. Let me know if that's what you're thinking, because that sounds kind of interesting. Maybe like a big, like the gallon Ziploc, or a little smaller, but with a zipper. Or what other closure could we have on that? Sorry, whenever people make suggestions on the live shows, like my brain is already thinking like, oh, what could we do with that? And I get kind of distracted. Kaylee says, yes, would love to see a fabric cork strap demo. I'll add it to the list. Maybe next month we'll
There's
have
a lot
that.
of people following up on that one. They were
Suggestions?
excited. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's cool. And it looks really nice too. And also it makes your cork or vinyl go even further, because if you have a strap, the strap is what takes a lot of the cork or vinyl yardage, because the strap is often from selvage to selvage, and especially if you're folding it over 2 or 3 times or even 4, that takes up a big piece of your cork. But if you have one side of the strap cork and the other side fabric, it goes much further. The cork does, at least.
We've got a lot of questions on that stuff.
Okay. Pamela says, what is Cork Club and how does one join? So Cork Club was a 6-month club that we started in March. Was the first month that we did Cork Club for. So we're kind of in the middle of it right now. And unfortunately, we had to close off to new subscribers just because we had so many, and we didn't want packages going out late or orders going out late. So that's why we made that tough call. We're going to open Cork Club to new subscribers again in future. I don't have a specific date for that, but we'll let you know when we do. So whenever we get everything, not that things are out of control, but probably when we finish this round of the club, sometime after that, we'll do another round so people can sign up for it. Marguerite says, when adding purse feet to a cork bag, do I need to use freight check? That's a great question. So if you've seen any of my videos before, something with purse feet, I know we did a demo, I think last week, like a 3-minute video on how to install purse feet. So in the video, I was using quilting cotton, and when you make the slits for the purse feet, I followed that up with seam sealant like fray check or fray block. If you're inserting the purse feet to a fabric that does not fray, like cork or leather, you don't need to use the fray check. You certainly could if you wanted to, but it's not necessary because those fabrics don't fray when you cut them. Lauren says, due with baby number 4 in 3 weeks, so pretty much any day now. Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. Would love to see some sort of hanging diaper holder. That's a good idea. Maybe, one of the 12, earlier when I was talking about those 12 patterns and videos I was working on, one of the 12 might be good for that. Interesting. I'll let you know. Maybe I can have one filled with baby stuff so you can see how that would look as opposed to what I originally thought of for that pattern without giving too much away.
Well, there's actually a few people saying something similar to this effect.
Deborah's also saying fabric electric knives are available. They are used in cutting stacks of fabric. Patterns in the clothing sewing factories cut like cutting butter. I'm not sure why I didn't know about that. That sounds really interesting.
15 to 20 liters pattern one time. So it's not too crazy. I'm just saying,
Something for you to investigate.
Yes,
I know
for sure.
Danny likes to investigate things on the internet.
I am such a mad researcher. I think I lost my calling in life.
All right, maybe we'll take like 2 more questions, unless there's like super searing questions that you're seeing. Not that all of the questions aren't super important. Stephanie says, would you consider making a pattern for a barrel duffel bag in kid and adult sizes? That's a good idea. I've done a couple duffel bags, but none in a barrel shape. So I think completely doable. I will add it to the list.
Just enlarge the what is it? Not the cotton candy. The cylinder.
I know. Trifle tumbler.
Yes. Enlarge it a lot.
Well, it would be better if it was a pattern because you need to have straps and stuff on there. Pat says, please provide in your store sew sweetness, labels, tags. That's a great idea. We have to find, I wonder if there's some machine you can get for cutting and making tags, or if it would be better to just order them in bulk. You know what I'm talking about?
Tags.
Like metal tags with like text written on them, like sew sweetness or something like that.
Like a press or something where it stamps on it?
Maybe.
It's probably best to source it out.
Okay. Well, we can look into that also.
Yep.
Janet says, can you do a video on how you lay out your pattern on a yard of fabric? I had to purchase more fabric because I didn't do it right. Thanks. That's a great question as well. So in my patterns, I know everyone's patterns are different. I'm super frugal when I'm cutting my fabrics, and so in my patterns I list the order, like a cutting order, and it says in the pattern also. So you should cut your fabric according to that list to have enough fabric. I'm really frugal, and I don't know why, because I don't use my scraps really for anything, but I tend to, like if I have to cut the fabric on the fold. Actually, no, the fussy cutting video, did I talk about that?
I don't remember, to be honest.
We'll have to post it. I think it was a couple months ago. I did a video on how I fussy cut fabric. Maybe that video will be helpful. We've been trying to cut out all of the demos from the live videos, like especially on Social Sunday when I demo a certain technique. Danny's been trying to edit as many of those as he can to take out that one little video so we can post it separately so people can find the techniques easier. So we'll try to get that fussy cutting sort of edited out so we can post that separately on YouTube. Leah says, why can't you use a spray on glue or fabric spray adhesive to attach the foam stabilizer? That's a great question. So basting spray, which is commonly used by quilters for attaching a quilt top to the batting and also to the backing. The question is if you can use that to attach the fabric to the interfacing. I haven't done that myself, only because early on, one of my pattern testers, I think it was Tiffany, told me that she used the basting spray to attach the fabric to the foam, and it didn't look nice. Like, it looked bunched up and crinkly, and she didn't like the look. So I just took her at her word, and I haven't done it myself. I don't think I have a can of basting spray handy, but I just trusted her that it didn't look nice, and so I haven't done it myself. But I guess your mileage might vary. You might want to try on a little scrap of fabric to see how it looks to you. And then I would suggest, if you are testing it yourself, what I like to do with testing interfacings, say if you take a little 5-inch square of fabric, use the basting spray to attach it to the foam interfacing. Do me a favor, while you're testing it, also crumple it up and trying to iron it flat, because if you think about it, when you're making a bag, when you pull the bag through the opening in the lining, things get crumpled up. And so just because you can use the basting spray to attach the fabric to the foam, it might look flat, but make sure you do that crumple test to make sure that the finished bag will look nice as well, because I'd hate for you to spend all that time on a bag. You know what, I'll do that test myself. I'll do it on one of the shows instead of advising what I would do myself. I'll just do it. I'll show you on one of the live shows. Dawn says, can you design a 5-gallon tool organizer? I'm not sure what that is. Do you know what that is?
Yes, you have a 5-gallon bucket, like a paint bucket that's left over. It's empty, and it usually goes around the rim.
So it's like fabric that kind of...
You can hang a hammer, your tools.
Oh, that's
so
a great idea.
you carry supplies in the middle of it. And
does the fabric go all the way down to the center of the bucket? Or is it just
it
like
usually hangs on like a U. So say it's the bucket. You'd have the fabric halfway down on this side and halfway on this side, so you can hang stuff on the outside.
Oh, so maybe like elastic would hold it or something?
It's like a flap that goes over it. Like,
okay.
See how this goes over like this? It's it goes like a cup.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Great idea. I'm glad you knew what that 5-gallon bucket was, because I was blanking on that one. Carla says, do you Scotch guard the outside of purses? I do recommend to do that, especially if you're selling them. My purses, I'm going to be honest, because I make so many, I don't use any given purse for a whole lot of time, and so I don't Scotch guard mine. But if circumstances were different, or if I was selling them, I for sure would use Scotch guard. Bonnie says, the spray adhesive can mess up your machine. Be careful. That's a good point. Make sure you use something that's specifically for quilting and not just a regular spray adhesive. And Danielle says, June Core Club, have the samples been shown? I didn't think
about it.
Yeah, we didn't show the samples. Actually, they're in the basement. Otherwise, we would show you, but we would have to run down there, and they're not. Our basement, we had a little bit of water yesterday, not like water where you have to walk through, but like, would you call it seepage?
Yeah, the problem is our neighbor has high ground. We have a sidewalk. In Chicago, it's a house, sidewalk, then generally spaced in the other house. Our house has the sidewalk here, and our neighbor's, like, he has a garden back there, and he's added soil to it over the years. He's lived here for, I think, 30 years. And his property is about that much taller than ours with this added soil he has. So all the water runoff goes to the side of our gangway where the walkway is. And I'm like, where's this water coming from? I go outside, open my door, and there's like this much water on the side of our house sitting on our sidewalk. Just it looked like a little pool. So I called Sarah down, and we were outside shoveling and sweeping the water out of the gangway into our alley where it went to the sewer, because it was crazy. We had to shop back downstairs, vacuum it up, and usually we don't have a problem like that. Sometimes, but I think that's the reason. So we're gonna look into getting maybe a step up sidewalk to meet the height level.
And we got to that story because we were talking about the Core Club samples. So maybe we'll show them. Danny and the kids have been assembling the Core Club packages, and they're doing that this weekend. So maybe this weekend on the show we can show that.
Yep.
If we have it together.
I think I should end it right there.
Okay. Thanks so much for joining us for Ask Sarah. We had a great time, and it was fun showing you different things. Thanks again to Diana for sending the Doctor Who desktop cubes.
Thank you so much. They were great. Awesome job with them.
So we'll see you again next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, and happy sewing.
Bye.